Hey guys, this is Ferg from Poker VIP. Welcome to part 2 of our cash game series that we're playing over on GGPoker. So we're going to be playing more 10NL. Anyone who's watching part 1 will be fully aware of what we're going to be doing. We're going to be playing 4 tables of 10NL throughout. As I always say, we're playing a live play video here. This isn't pre-recorded footage or anything like that. So I'm just going to be playing as I would normally play, talking through my thought process as we go. And as I said, you'll see me dealing with spots as they arise in real time. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the action. We're going to be opening the pocket fours here from cutoff. Let's go for a 3-bet here out of the small blind with the ace and 3 of the same suit. Wouldn't mind tag teaming this flop in here. Pocket fours, we're just going to check this one back. If he checks to us again, oh, that's a good card. I was going to take a stab here if he checked anyway, but now it's not really a bluff, it's for value. We can occasionally, I mean, the diamond is a pretty good card. If he has if he has the ace of diamonds or the queen of diamonds, he's certainly not going anywhere, I would imagine. So we take it down though, no harm, no foul. And hopefully Sen just goes for the fold here himself. He does not. We're going to fire one and done here. See if we can just get him to fold a hand like an underpair, like pocket 6s, 7s, 8s, stuff like that. Which may just go ahead and give this one up here and now. He does not, and we are not going to be following through again here, I don't think. Yeah, no, we're not going to bet here again. We can really credibly rep like ace king and stuff like that, but on the paired board here, if he's like hand like ace jack, I don't think we're going to get the fold through. If he's a queen, we're certainly not, so yeah. We're going to call here with our 10s in position versus killer 98 with the heap of x's. Okay, interesting spot. Let's check this turn. Hopefully Poker Sonny checks behind. If he checks behind, I'd like our hand to be best very, very often. Okay, it's a pretty good card. We're going to call here. So as long as this guy doesn't have pocket queens, I would imagine we have the best hand here. I mean, I would imagine he just bets his hand like his ace queens and stuff like that. Let's check this down. Hope he doesn't have ace jack. The ace 5, nice. So we lose a few dollars over here, we win a few dollars over here. He did pick up the flush draw, obviously, which is pretty reasonable. Interesting to note, though, he's 3-betting early position opens with the ace 5 suited there, which, I mean, it's not crazy or anything like that, it's just on the more aggressive side. 9-10 suited our friend here from Israel. Do we want to defend in position? No, we do not. Pretty juicy squeeze spot for him, of course. But what we've seen on this side so far, there hasn't been a ton of 3-bets. I mean, obviously the ace-5 there is definitely one of the lighter moves that we've seen, but in general, people have been playing reasonably straightforwardly. So spots like that where it's, you know, 10 jacks is pretty hand, but stack depths aren't all that deep. If we were kind of 150 blinds deep plus, I would definitely be looking to call there, but for 100 bigs effective, it's not all that worth it, given the price that we were getting. I mean, it wouldn't have been crazy or anything like it. Would have been close either way. I like this rabbit hole feature. I like being able to do that, and hopefully the recreational players enjoy it too and just get tilted if they see that they should have made the call or whatever. King 4, if it's folded to us, we're going to go for the open. Facing the button open though, we're going to go for the fold. Let's give him the thumbs down. You suck. Don't like to see that. We're going to be using the emotions as much as possible. Like, I commented off this in part 1. I absolutely love this software. I'm just such a child at heart. I love the cartoons. I love like the way it really actively encourages people to use them and stuff like that. And the way they do the run it multiple times and stuff like that, I think is quite cool as well. It's a very nice way of doing things. It's cool. And one of the main benefits of this is that it is GGPoker is the network is available in a lot of Asian countries where other poker sites do not operate. So in general, you get a lot of kind of weaker players where coming from nations where poker isn't quite as big a game as it is in, say, if you take so like the likes of Europe and a lot of kind of European countries like Germany, UK, stuff like that. And it is, of course, open to all these places. You can sign up from the UK, from Ireland, and so on. But as I said, it's a lot bigger in a lot of the countries where poker isn't as big. So maybe the players might not be as experienced as a lot of other players that might be playing on different sites, which is a big benefit for it. Oh, flush over flush, pretty sick. Pretty sick. It's only a short stack, though, so not so bad. How did I get myself into this spot here? I guess I'm betting. How's the pot so big? If I kind of just opened, it wouldn't be $1 if I just raised and he'd called, right? Unless I raised too much by mistake. When he check calls, we're just gonna give this one up. I'm not really sure how this hand went down, which is never a great way to be when you're recording a video. But as I said, just the pot size threw me. I feel like I may have made a mistake with my bet sizing there. Pre-flop potentially. Or else I'm not sure how the pot ended up the exact size that it did. It just threw me there. Maybe that c-bet wasn't amazing, but assuming that it was just me raised and he called, it's fine. King 9 here in the button. We will be bringing it in for an open. So far we are up a very marginal amount. Let's see if we can keep it going. Gonna bet here with our middle pair and our open ender. If he's just 2 overcards, we want to make sure that we are charging him. And we have a hand with a ton of equity, so I don't really have a strong preference here. I mean, if he just folds, it's fine. If he calls, it's fine. If he raises, we're not going to love it, but it's not a disaster either. 10 jack suited, pretty hand. We don't get to see a flop with it though. I'm going to check back our second pair here, and we will bet the turn if checked to. We'll be checking back rivers unless we improve. Pocket trays here. If this guy likes to jam, we will call off. And king 5, we will bring it in for an open if it's folded to us. It is not, so we let this one go. We have ace high here, which has a little bit of showdown, and we obviously have the open ender as well. It's not an amazing open ender, but it's not a complete disaster either. If he checks here, we're going to go for the overbet and make sure that we fold out his single pair hands that are ahead of us. His possible ace high, as I said, is ahead there. He can just definitely have kind of flush draws that bricked and stuff like that we're ahead of, but I think he bets his straights there pretty much always, so when he checks he's incredibly capped, and I think we can take it down there a whopping percentage of the time. We're obviously going to be calling off here with the ace jack versus the short stack jam. We are ahead, which we like. We'll run it as many times as he wants. He just wants to go once, which is fine. No need for insurance dealer. No need. No need. And we hold. Nice. Give me them chips. We have a run it twice proposal. Oh, and he turned down the run it twice. Interesting. Haha. That's what you get, dealer. Alright, let's go for the 3-bet here with ace 5 suited versus killer. Pull the same move that he pulled on us. He went for the 3-bet with the exact same hand, same suit and all. And we are going to 3-bet here with the 7-4 suited as well. Interesting overcall. And by interesting, I mean bad. Like, there's just no hands really that this is going to be particularly good in this spot. Or very few anyway. And this board is just a complete disaster for us. A complete disaster. Let's call closing the action here with our pocket 8s. And not a completely terrible board, but when we're four-handed, it's not an amazing one either. We're going to fold here, obviously, with the ace and the 5. I would be shocked if Maka had a hand he's bet folding here, but maybe he does. I mean, he's tanking, which is bonkers. It's just a board that should be incredibly under-bluffed, basically. Oh, wow, he has the aces. I think that, I mean, I don't think that's a particularly good bet fold there. I don't like how he played it pre. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of slow playing. I guess that's one of the combos where it's not completely absurd, though, to just be calling the 3-bet, overcalling the 3-bet. As a trap, it's actually probably pretty good. Bit of a disastrous board, of course, but I mean, if given the board, I think you'd be better off just checking rather than bet folding there. Like bet folding is a complete disaster. If he's ever getting bluffed there, like if our opponent ever shows up with like pocket queens, for example, it's a complete disaster for him. Which, I mean, you know, pocket queens, it's not all that likely given that the money didn't go in pre, but it's not out of the realms of possibility, right? Let's raise it up with the ace-10. This guy is a short stacker. He's been limping a lot so far, so we assume he's going to be a pretty poor player. Stop, Lilies. My little doggy in the back, I'm sure you can see her there, is looking like she might start barking at a stranger. If he limps again, we will ISO again. King 9 definitely good enough to do so. 4-9 suited, we're going to take a multi-way flop here. It's suited, we're getting 5-1, so not much more to say about that. We flop a pair. Let's hope this checks through. It's not really a board I'm going to be overly keen on putting more money in on, though. Obviously, it's gotten significantly worse. An overcard rolled off and puts 4 to a straight on the board, which is just all kinds of terrible force. Very reasonable chance we're just drawing dead, and, you know, a very, very reasonable chance that we're behind if not drawing dead. Jack and a jack. Let's hope Vasilisa wants to get all of the money in pre. We wouldn't mind that at all. We're going to raise here after this guy's posted. Going to raise a little bit larger than normal. Goes for the call, which is interesting. Very interesting. Alright, we're just going to check here, try to induce. I mean, obviously, only is 60 cents behind here, so we can get the money in at any point anyway. I don't think there's any point in raising here at all. Like, we want to give him every opportunity to put the rest of the money in himself, if he would like to do so. And I guess now we just stick him in. Set of 2s, drawing dead. Nice hand, I guess. It just seems odd that he just calls pre, but hey, we'll take it. Not the end of the world. Okay, not an amazing flop for the queens, not the worst either though. We're going to check back one street. We will not be folding turn. Like, we check back because we can induce some bluffs. Our hand looks exactly like it is, and some people might want to try to take advantage of our perceived weakness. I mean, our opponent shouldn't have tons of King X in his limp calling range, so we're just going to call down here. Hope we have induced the bluffs, which we have. He doesn't have, yeah, I thought for a second he might have a straight there, but he does not. So we managed to induce successfully. We are happy with that, of course. The 8 and the jack, we're going to let this one go. We'll top up some chips here on the bottom left. So we're up a few dollars so far. We're up about roughly $4.50-ish since we started. So we are 13 minutes in. Not an outrageous hourly. Let's see if we can keep it going for the half hour. If we can finish up winning a couple of stacks, I'd be pretty happy with this overall session. It's kind of annoying. This guy is short enough now that I don't really want to be ISOing him with this kind of hand specifically, where it's actually, you know, has some decent top pair potential. So we're just going to check this one down. And yeah, just let this one go. Like, obviously, like, this guy's limping off 10 bigs. He's obviously awful. He is just drawing dead in the game, basically. But that wasn't the spot that we should be attacking. I don't believe. I mean, just jamming on him there can't be outrageous. But like, I think he's just going to be limp calling like his ace X and stuff there, as well as just limp folding some trash. Okay, pretty big pot brewing over here. I would expect this guy to have a really nutted hand here after 4-betting from under the gun. Be very surprised if this is anything worse than ace king. I assume he's calling off here. I'd be pretty surprised not to see aces or kings, to be honest. But and he has the kings into the aces. Pretty sick. Pretty sick. The reads are on point though. And the ace all... Oh no, it doesn't. Queen actually gave him more outs. No queen on the river though. Did they run it more than once? Just the one time. Just the one time. This guy insta rebuys though, which is cool. Hopefully he's a little bit tilted now. The problem with the people that insta rebuy is though they tend to be, on average, slightly better. Not necessarily significantly so, but the people that are in kind of like, say, like this guy here, this could be his last $6 in his account, probably. Like, there's a pretty decent chance that's the case, so if he busts, he's just going to leave, or a decent chunk of the time that'll be the case. So that means he's definitely going to be one of the weaker players in the game, but it just means when he busts, there's a much higher chance that he leaves, which kind of sucks. We're going to check one street here, and okay, that's interesting. Yeah, let's have a wager here now. Don't hate a call here. We definitely don't want to get raised, and a fold is just fine by me. That's what we get. Jack 5, we are just going to check this one down. We improved to a pair. Our pair should be ahead reasonably frequently, but I'm not going to be really keen on playing a big pot here. When this guy pots, we are kind of sad. Yeah, we're just gonna actually let this go. Not in love with that fold, but like when he pots it there, he is showing a decent amount of strength. So interesting that this guy overcalls our squeeze. We get one guy out of the way, get two guys out of the way. Okay. We're just going to fire one and done here. I mean, we do have some backdoor potential. There are some cards that we can keep barreling on, but hopefully we just get the fold through here if he's a hand like 6s, 7s, stuff like that. A jack or a spade obviously are good cards for us. We take it down, don't mind that at all. We're slowly but surely chipping up. No big pots to note so far in this that I recall anyway. I don't think we've had any sort of substantial 100 blind pots or anything close to it. Six and the king, we're going to fold. So obviously anyone who is watching this, if it's a site that you feel that you would like to get involved in, you can sign up through Poker VIP through the affiliate links in the comments section to boost your rake back there. And let's ISO here with the king 10 suited broadways. We are going to have a wager here. Let's see if flop's so pretty. So pretty. Not the flop for us though. Hopefully it just checks through and we get to see the 9 of diamonds roll off. That'd be pretty cool. Nine of diamonds one time, no dice. We're just going to check call down here. If this guy has us beat, he's missed value. I mean, what even is this? Like, what's he attempting to do here? Is he going for value with his eights? Is he bluffing his eights? Both seem really awful to me. But hey, you do you, buddy. You do you. Okay, we fold. I was considering making a play here, but seems like it was unlikely to be all that profitable. Got a better tens here, a lot of bad cards that can roll off for us. And checking can induce some bluffs, which we're not really going to be... Like, there are a lot of runouts there that we can call down, so we're allowing him to bluff quite profitably on a decent number of runouts. So I'm not a huge fan of just kind of betting to take it down there when we do a showdown, but when our hand is as vulnerable as it is... I don't think you guys can hear the sound effects, but I can hear the sound effects, and when I got dealt the aces, I just heard a little swit swoo in my ear. That's pretty cool. And I'm telling you, I just love everything about this site and the software. I think it's fantastic. Pocket kings into the 8-6. Sick cooler, bro. The open-ender does not get there. Ace high loses to the pair of kings. Unfortunately, no action with their aces, of course, but I got to hear that delightful little swit swoo. So that was the first time I've gotten aces on the site, so the first time I heard it. Obviously, we really want this guy just to stick in those remaining blinds, but unfortunately, he does not oblige us. This guy does go for the 3-bet, though. We 4-bet you, sir. We 4-bet you. We're laying him a price of a little over 2-1. Encouraging to call off. We defend the king and the 8 here. I'm not going to love it if this guy jams me. We're not going to fold, but we're not going to be in love with it either. We definitely wouldn't mind to see a call here. We flop top pair. Not a ton of cards that we're overly afraid of. We have the 8 of diamonds blocker, which is nice. And, you know, only an ace is a really bad card for us. And even then, it's not like a complete disaster. Like, we just have a lock on this hand a lot of the time. He's bet reasonably large after betting quite small on the flop. Folding top pair seems crazy to me. So we're just going to be in call down mode here. Do we ever want to bet here? Try to get called by, like, you know, a hand that may have just been trying to charge diamonds. Do we ever get called by, like, you know, pocket 10s and stuff? So he can definitely have some better king X that plays this way. Let's try to get paid. Let's try to get paid by like pocket 10s. Queens versus the 9s. That is a bit more of a reasonable cooler. Oh, this guy, he just waited till he got the queens to stick the money in, my word. That's pretty funny. We don't really care too much what this guy happens because he's so short anyway. I mean, obviously it's good to have him at the table because he's obviously terrible, but he's so short that it doesn't really matter too much to us. Like, he's not going to add much EV to anybody at this table, even though he's giving away his money, but he's giving away $1, do you know what I mean? So it would probably be better off if he left and this was filled up by a guy who's in for a full 10. We're just going to check our big here. ISOing a hand this week seems like a bit of a spew. Although, like, it's really tempting just to ISO this guy 100% of the time, basically. Like, that's how badly he's been playing so far. Like, I'm kind of starting to change my assessment. Like, given that he just seems to be limping 100%, that maybe that Jack 9 in the big blind earlier on should have just been a jam on him and expect him just to be limp folding a ton. But as I said, like, the reason I wanted to call just to check it there was because, you know, it has a decent amount of top pair potential. But this is the kind of player that, you know, top pair, if the money goes in, it's probably not going to be good against him anyway with Jack 9. So, like, he's just been playing so nitty, which is so strange for such a short stack. And as I'm talking, maybe he bet folds. Maybe he's not as big a nit as I thought. Oh, funny. Do we just want to jam? Really eliminate this guy's opportunity? No, we don't want to jam. Let's check. That's a pretty good card for us. We're happy enough to bet now. And we take it down. Ooh, the emotions are running high. You could see one face card. I could see it was another face card, but I couldn't see what it was. Just hoping for the king and the king. Alright, we have second pair. I mean, we're not going to be folding against this dude at any point. We're just going to check again here and wager pretty much every river. Except for maybe like a queen. That would be kind of suckish. We do call here though. A7 is good. Let's see if he wants to run it twice. We do have a decent-ish amount of outs. Declined. Fair enough. I should point out that the only reason I'm running it more than once is because it's kind of fun for the video. I have, in general, I don't ever run it more than once. If I wasn't recording, I would never bother, but I am recording. So, as I said, we want to show off all of the functionality of the site. And I know I sound like such a little fanboy here, but I have to say this is just one of the sites that its software is just so much better than a lot of the other pieces of software out there. And just, as I said, it's just fun. I know I've said this a bunch of times throughout these 2 videos, but it is fun. It's actually making me enjoy poker a lot more. All the avatars are kind of cool, like they're all cartoony, they're nice, kind of brings back, like, you know, brings back memories of, like, you know, full tilt, stuff like that. And it's just, yeah, it's good. A firm fan of the site so far. We are going to ISO our limper, Luwei. Assuming Sen doesn't elect to do it first. It does not. Eight and the Jack wins. Ugh. This really sucks. Like when this guy just limp re-raises, we're just gonna fold. We're just gonna fold. Like just limp min clicks it back. We're just gonna be in really rough shape there a lot. It's a pretty nutted line, unfortunately. Now, ace jack, this is like, I mean, how often do I ever want an 8 big blind stack not to jam when I have ace jack? Based on what I've seen from this guy, this is one of those times. Let's min bet and a call. We call. Oh, you have your flush, but your flush is no good, sir. Your flush is no good. So we have Buster Rooney'd him, and he is now sitting out. Let's see if he elects to rebuy. It gives you 13 minutes. My word, that is a long time before you get booted off the table. I do like that you do get a decent time bank, but 13 minutes seems a little bit excessive if I'm being perfectly honest. We shall see if he, hopefully he rebuys though, or just leaves of his own accord, you know. We're going to check this just purely because he can have a decent number of pocket pairs that are not going to fold, and if he doesn't have a pocket pair, our ace 10 actually has some showdown. Let's bet the king. Let's rep this king. That sucks that he had the king, but I mean, I'm okay. It's like kind of hard for him to have a ton of king X there, but it is what it is. And when we do elect to wager that river, I think it's pretty frequent that we get folds from like underpairs and stuff like that. If he does ever have like, as I said, like kind of 5s, 6s, 7s, all that sort of stuff, that just elects to check it down. We're gonna call here with our 10-3 per, and we're gonna call here with our backdoor nut to flush draw and our bottom pair. If Aha elects to bet again here, we have a pretty easy fold. Pocket fours, pretty good chance we're going to be playing this hand. This guy, okay, so the short stacker that I just busted has left the table of his own accord. This guy doesn't have any chips yet. This guy has 55 cent from Indonesia. We're just going to click this back, just make sure that we try to get heads up here. Hopefully this guy doesn't realize that if he does call here that this guy's re-raise won't be a valid re-raise, so it'll have capped the action essentially. Pocket fours, let's see if we're in good shape or not. Does he want to run it more than once? I hope he doesn't do it 3 times. I'll do it twice though. Nah, just the 1 time. Okay. Ace on the flop, not particularly good. Just the 4 and the 4. Nope. Okie dokie. Bad beat. I mean, obviously it wasn't a bad beat. I just like the emojis. I am a child, it is what it is. Alright, we're going to the end of the video here now. So that pot lost us a few dollars. We are definitely up a decent-ish bit. We are up like 6-ish, 7-ish, something like that, which, you know, is not an outrageous hourly. We would have preferred a bit more though, of course, but we didn't really get involved in many big pots. So I guess the only negative I'd take from the side is that there are a ton of short stackers, which isn't amazing, but because they are awful, it's, you know, it's fine. They're just giving away their money more often than not, but it would be nicer if people were buying in full stacked more frequently. We're just going to peel one street here with the 5-9, see if we can pick up a heart 9 or 5. We do not. And as always, if anyone has any questions, queries, comments about any of the hands that we've played, feel free to leave them on the relevant social media, on YouTube, on Poker VIP, anything like that. I always do my best to check all of the comment sections and so on in the weeks after a video goes up. So I will do my best to get back to you in a timely fashion. So if you want to do that, as I said, if you have any comments at all or anything like that, make sure to do so. And this has been Ferg from Poker VIP. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys, and I'll be back soon. Have a great night. Take care.